Hello, soldiers. This is Admiral Crowder from the United Delta Quadrant, and I'm here to teach you how to do our buyback program. Okay, so there are a couple things that you will need. One is the thing that you're trying to sell. In this circumstance, we're going to be using the Triglavian survey database, which you can actually sell to the corporation, by the way, because we accept pretty much anything that you want to sell at 90% JITA. And yeah, um, the website that you're going to need to actually do the contracting is Eve Appraisal. I'm going to be putting the website in the description of the video. Okay. Now, how you actually get your appraise is fairly simple. Okay. So, I'm going to be using my personal assets in this situation because I'm actually at a station with my assets in it. But I'm still going to show you how to do it when you have it in your inventory, right? So you have a couple of things actually in regards to your inventory, right? For one, you need to make sure that if it's in, say, your mining ship, that it is no longer in your mining ship, right? So you would drag and drop it into your item hanger, right? The only way that you can actually do this and contract stuff is if it's in your item hanger. You cannot contract anything if it's still in your ship, okay? So when you actually get here, to make your life a little bit easier, right, what you want to do is you want to go to the top right hand corner of the item hanger. You want to click on this little button here, the list. You have three types of these. You have the icon, details, and list. You want to choose the list, right, which will take the icons off, and all the details will just have the name of it and how much. Okay, but I don't have any here. So under this circumstance, I'm going to use the personal assets, which still has the picture, which makes things a bit more complicated because it has the details and the picture, and it's just, no. Okay. Um, Now, for you to actually select multiple of them, so say if you have multiple different types of ores, so under the circumstance you have multiple different types of loot here, you'd shift left click, right? What it allows you to do is multi-select. So then when you control C to copy them, it copies all, right? So how you would go about inputting it into e-appraisal is pretty simple, okay? Control V, boom, now it's all there, right? But if you did it the way that I just showed you, it's not gonna have all this extra information, okay? So under this circumstance, we're only gonna use one because, you know, of all the extra details. We're gonna use the Triglavian database, and it's gonna be 130 of those survey database. Now, if you wanted to go another route, you easily could just go and type in the name of what you want to get the pricing on and just input how many, which would essentially be in this format. That's one way to go about it. But the other way I just showed you is the quickest way without having to type and all that. Okay. Now, when you're on the site, there are a couple things that you want to check to make sure that you have. The appraisal settings is one, right? So if you didn't see it, I'll show it again. I just pressed on this little gear next to where it says quick estimate. Pressed on that. All right. Now, you want to make sure that the price percentage is at 90%, right? It's going to show up as 100% when you first get here, but you want to make sure it is at 90%. Okay. Now here, under the drop down under quick estimate, you want to make sure it's at JITA. We go off of JITA pricing. Okay. So make sure it's at JITA. Sometimes it'll be just on Universe. You want to make sure it's on JITA, right? Then after you got everything like that, you press submit. Okay, we press submit. It's a contract price at 90% of JITA. Now, we always buy a G to buy value. Okay, so not this value. We don't go off of this value. We go off of this value, the buy value, right? So this would actually be the pricing of what you're trying to sell. So you're gonna actually have to remember this number, right? And that's how you get the pricing. Now to actually contract it to the corporation is the simpler part, right? So we're looking at the 130 Triglavian data, okay? Now, in the actual contract creation, you want to do a couple things here, right? You want to make sure that it's on item exchange, not auction or courier. We won't accept either of these. The only thing we will accept is the item exchange, right? Now, availability, you want to do private, right? Because you're actually contracting it to the corporation itself, okay? Now, under this circumstance, you would type out the corporation's name. I usually just type out half because I don't want to type out the whole thing. But when you do this, you're going to come up with actually a couple options here, right? We're this one. We're the United Delta Quadrant. You're going to have the United Delta Quadrant Holding, which is still a corporation, but it's a separate corporation. But we don't accept contracts on this one. The only thing that we will accept is this one, right? United Delta Quadrant. Press OK. Now here, you'll be brought to the pick items menu, right? And this is where you want to find whatever you just got the value for and exit up, right? So under this circumstance, like I said, 130 Triglavian survey database, right? So boom, we found it, click next. Now here is where you want to put what you are actually going to receive in regards to income from the contract. Now, this was worth from Eve Appraisal, right? I'll show you again. It says it was worth 10,053,530,000, pretty much. Okay, so 53. All right, boom. Okay. You want to do it longer than a day. I would suggest 4 weeks, just make it the maximum for whatever reason. We usually do it within 24 hours, but, just to be safe. Okay. You press next, review your contract, make sure everything is correct here. You always want to go, I will receive, not I will pay. If you do I will pay, that means that you are going to be paying us for taking your stuff, basically. You don't want to do that. Then once you're done, just go ahead and press finish, and boom, your contract is up. And once the corporation actually accepts your contract, you will receive the money that you want us to pay, right? But that's how you do our buyback system. So with that being said, all of you soldiers have a good day. Rise, soldiers. I'll see y'all next time.